Far from being absolute or objective, the law is dynamic, ever-changing symbol of political will. Let's take a look at judicial independence and the Constitution. Far from being static, the implementation of law reflects political realities, in direct contrast to the ideal of judicial independence that is the cornerstone of our system of government. If the judiciary is not independent of political powers, this calls into question the very existence of the checks and balances upon which this country's government is constructed. The system of federal prosecutors and the federal law enforcement agencies, which include the Federal Bureau of Investigation as well as many others, is also supposed to be removed from political influence. If the justice system, including prosecutors and judges, is a pawn or an agent of political power, due process is a sham and the very essence of democracy is threatened. The importance of due process is that even criminals and enemies of the state are given due process rights that protect them from errors in deprivation of life, liberty, and property. The U.S. Supreme Court, as the ultimate authority of the law in this country, decides constitutionality, and these interpretations are far from neutral, despite the myth of objective decision-making. Our law derives from the Constitution. Two basic philosophies regarding how to apply constitutional principles are at work in the legal arena. The first group might be so-called strict constitutionalists, because they argue that the Constitution should be implemented as written, and any changes are to take place in terms of rights, responsibilities, or liberties. The changes should take place through the political system, or Congress. Activists have a looser reading of the Constitution and read into the rights that framers might have recognized or should have recognized because of evolving standards. They argue that the Constitution is meant to be a living document and that the language of the framers was intentionally written as an accommodating interpretation based on changing times and circumstances. Critics of judicial activism point out that just because judicial activists have been promoters of civil liberties and socially progressive causes, there's no absolute necessity that activism would always champion such individual rights.